Well, good morning, greetings, salutations, and how you doing on a Feel Good Friday? It is The Drive here. Move over the national guys on Westwood One Radio. The local guys' turn to have some fun. The only local sports talk show in town is right now from the Findlay Hyundai Studios. Devin, Dixon, Paul Ratliff, thanks for waking up with us. And, Paulie, good show on tap today. We'll be feeling good on a Friday. It's been a good week of shows, and we got to cap the week off with a bang today. And we will do that.
Yes.
We will do that. We've got everything from Coach Lance Anderson, Utah Tech, dropping by to talk spring football. He will join me on the program, Paul, on the program at 8:40. The spring football game, free to the public. We'll tell you all about that this weekend, see how the quarterback battle is looking, the running back battle is looking, and so on and so forth. Of course, we've got so much other things to get into today. We've got a visit from Copper Rock. We are a couple weeks away from the Epson Tour invading Copper Rock. Chad Magavaro is going to be in studio and talk about some camps and clinics and the event as a whole. So we look forward to that. That'll be about 8:20 this morning. NFL draft, we're getting closer. Countdown is on to next Thursday's first round. It was fun. We had Nephi Sewell on the show yesterday. We'll continue to talk about the latest storylines in the upcoming NFL draft. We will get to some of the local scores from last night as well. But I wanted to start first, Paulie, with the Knights Mammoth series because we finally got all of the matchups and the dates and the times announced. So the NHL sent out the schedule for the first round series between the Mammoth and the Golden Knights. If that doesn't wet your whistle, Knights Mammoth, I don't think you're much of a hockey fan in Southern Utah because Paulie's giddy. I'm excited. I'm over the moon about this. The series will begin this Sunday, 8 o'clock, T-Mobile Arena, with Game 2 on Tuesday, next Tuesday, 7:30 start time. So Game 3 then is Friday, April 24th. And then you've got, in Utah at the Delta Center. And then the following Monday, April 27th, will be Game 4. Then it's pretty much every other day all the way through. That's what I love about hockey. You don't have extra rest days like the NBA. You do have Sunday, Monday off. You play Tuesday, Wednesday off. You do travel to Salt Lake, and they do get 2 games in between games 2 and 3. But other than that, it's every other day.
That's right. They come at you hard and fast. There's not much layover time or break time. They just try and jam these in and try and get the games going. So I've always liked that about the NHL, the NBA. When the finals come, they kind of try and plan it around Father's Day, it seems like, and they'll stretch out the schedule really far. But the NHL really doesn't do that. They just go for come at you with them one after another. So this is awesome to see. We'll have potentially 7 games. I know some fans want to see it go shorter, depending on which side you're on, of course. But for me, I would like to see 7. It'd be awesome. Get a 7th game in Vegas between our 2 local teams. And I think, a winner-take-all scenario would really bring the peak of hockey interest in this area. I think a lot of people that haven't checked it out yet will maybe check in with this series, seeing the 2 teams 5 hours apart. It's not a real rivalry yet, but there'll be some bad blood by the end of this series. You can expect that.
Well, and for the Mammoth, who, established in 2024, relocating from Arizona, they're the newest franchise in the NHL, playing the second newest franchise in the NHL. Known as the Utah Hockey Club for the inaugural season. Then I thought that was pretty smart to do the due diligence and then tab Utah Mammoth. It also doubled down on gear, and you get that inaugural season that's different than everything else. So I think that was a pretty good move for.
And pretty cool by Ryan Smith, to do the voting thing and get the fans involved. That's the first time I've ever heard of a team soliciting fans' opinions for their team name. As a lot of people, when the Redskins were being renamed, they had all these social media polls like, what would you like our name to be? And all these votes were cast, and then they just go Commanders.
Yeah.
and the Cleveland Indians, they're renamed the Guardians, and I don't think their fans had much influence on that name.
Nope.
So, pretty cool for Ryan Smith to have the voting tablets all year last year. I voted for the Mammoth, coincidentally, and it is pretty cool that they've rebranded and they've been so successful, and they are making their playoff debut as a franchise. So this is a big thing for Utah. The Vegas Golden Knights have been there, done that. They've been to the playoffs, 7 times in their 8-year existence, only missed it once. So, this is a team that's been there, that obviously has the winning pedigree and the knowledge to navigate through a playoff series. But you've got a young bunch of kids over here in the Mammoth that are excited and wanting to upset the Knights. So I think this will be a really, really fun series.
And look, we know the Knights have a great fan base. And we know Vegas is a destination. And people, when they're in Vegas, hey, there's a Knights game. They get tickets, they go.
Yeah.
Take a break from the pool and the casinos and the other entertainment options you have in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But look, the Utah Mammoth, with the Jazz being down and in complete and utter rebuild, hell right now, for lack of a better term, for the last 3-4 seasons.
Yes.
The Mammoth have ignited a fan base. I mean, and I would say Salt Lake in the state of Utah does have a great sports and entertainment landscape. A lot of concerts.
Yeah.
A lot of things to do, especially in the winter sports up there in Salt Lake City. And hockey fits in perfectly.
Yeah.
And now you've in just 2 short years, you've punched your ticket to the playoff. This is huge for the ownership group, for ROI, for the investment to move the team. Obviously the remodeling of the Delta Center, that is not a cheap expense, and they still got to do more this offseason. But that will have to wait, my friends, because the Mammoth and the Knights will square off in the postseason. I'm a little bit torn. I'm not going to lie. I was wanting this in the second round or beyond. I didn't necessarily, because I want summer in sports talk. You have your NASCAR and your baseball and your golf, which I love all of those. And football never sleeps. But if the longer the NBA and the longer the NHL playoffs with a local team goes, the more content we have to consume and digest and to break down and to talk about and hype. And that is exciting to me. And one of these teams is going home. So it's a little bit bittersweet.
It is bittersweet, and I think the Mammoth fans are pretty excited about this. I see an article here from Brogan Houston on how Utah playoff tickets prices compare to the rest of the league. And for a team making its first foray into the playoffs, you'd think, all right, probably some real hype and anticipation being built here. And when you look at the entire playoff field, every single team, they list the cheapest and most expensive ticket for every team for game 1 of their playoff series. So right now, the cheapest ticket to get into the Mammoth game 3 at the Delta Center,
okay,
$182. That with before fees.
That's not bad.
That is your cheapest seat. That is your nosebleeder. That is your top row of the Delta
but you're
Center
in the
type
building.
seat. You're in the building, correct? So to put it in perspective, the Vegas Golden Knights' cheapest ticket to get in for game 1 is how much, would you guess?
$109.
$76.
Wow.
So the fans of Vegas, they want to see them advance. The prices will spike as the rounds go deeper. But Vegas fans, they've been there, done that. They've seen first round series year after year after year. But for the Mammoth, you can tell by just the price of the get-in price that there is some real hype behind game 3 in Utah.
100%.
And the prices, a lot of the fans upset about the prices of tickets and kind of wondering why they're so high. But this is playoff hockey for you. It amps up. I can say for myself, the Capitals in a second round series last year, and albeit not the first round, but I paid like $340 for my ticket.
Probably good seats.
Pretty good seats, I'll admit, but at the same time, even the get-in price for round 2 was like $200-something bucks.
Right.
So,
it's not cheap to go to watch the hockey playoffs. No question.
Yes.
No question. I remember the inaugural season, that 17-18 season for the VGK, and we were working across town as an affiliate of the Knights, and I got an email with an early option to buy playoff tickets that inaugural season.
Yeah.
and I opted in the whole playoff series, and I think I'm still paying off my credit card almost 10 years later. I mean, it's not cheap, you know. And
Yeah.
I went to a Stanley Cup game that year, hooked up some friends and family. Obviously, didn't go to every single game, but bought the entire playoff package and had a blast. Would do that over again in a heartbeat in that inaugural season. You know, ended up a little bit disappointing with the Caps taking the cup that year, much to my chagrin and your excitement, because you kind of grew up a Caps fan, and that's the team that you root for. But you're a hockey fan.
Yes, I am.
And it's gonna be fun.
No Caps in the playoffs this year, so
Nope.
These two teams are really who I care about the most. So.
And look, as challenging as the regular season may have been at times, this is where the real assignment starts for the Vegas Golden Knights, because this is a team built for the postseason. And they let go of Bruce Cassidy. They fired him. And he's the guy that took them to the title in 2023. And then they hired the guy they think can bring them another one in John Tortorella. And the Knights won 7 of 8 under their new coach.
Yeah, that's right. They've been off to a really good start with Torts as their bench boss, as they say. And I think he, getting the most out of this team. And I think he'll continue to do that.
Corey Hart has been incredible since
Carter
Hart. What'd I say? Corey Hart. Sorry. Carter Hart has been incredible in the net really since Torts arrived.
Yeah.
On 5-on-5 play, he's got a nice low save percentage. Mitch Marner, 8-year deal. He's a $12 million a year guy. He's played well. Eichel still does his thing. Stone is sneaky good. Dorofeev has played incredible this year.
Yeah.
You've had some guys step up on the defensive end. If you look at the Knights' scoring, it hasn't been a lot of 5 to 6 games, 5 to 4 games. A lot of lower scoring games. The defense has been better as the season has progressed. That was a big concern going into the season after losing a guy like Shea Theodore out with the injury, his future unknown. So, there's a lot of things to be excited about for the Knights. But you hit the nail on the head with the Mammoth. This is a team that's not going to be just excited to be there. There are going to be a lot of guys that are really getting their first taste of playoff hockey, and you wonder how that is going to go.
Yeah.
And you also, they have depth. The one thing I like is this Mammoth team has 6 players that scored 20 or more goals this year, along with 10 players who have reached double figures in goals. They play team hockey.
They do. They have a good team concept. I was really wrong early in the season. They had that slow, middle juncture of the year where I was like, maybe a coaching change is something this team should consider. They've had Andre Turgenev since the Arizona days. They really haven't taken off. But in the last third of the season, probably the last 25 games or so, this team really asserted itself and took that wild card 1 spot and ran with it. And I think that this team is a sleeping giant right now. I mean, I'm not just being a little biased because I've been to a lot of their games this year. They're not my team. They're not my team, my number 1 team. I like to see them do well, just like I like to see the Knights do well. But they really are building something with the age of the core. The Coolies, the Gunthers, the Kellers, the young guys, Small's locked up to an 8-year deal. These guys.
What does every young core need around them? They need vets.
Yeah.
For moments like the postseason. And Utah does have vets like Ian Cole, Nate Schmidt, Mikhail Sergachev. Tanev is a vet. Vanashek is a vet. Of some of those guys, they've won 4 of those guys that I mentioned have won Stanley Cups. They have some guys on this roster that have won Stanley Cups.
That's right. Nate Schmidt just won one last year with the Florida Panthers. So, they've got the guys that have gone the distance. They know how to, there's certain guys on this team. I'm not saying the young guys who've never been there, but the guys that the 4 Stanley Cup champions know what it takes to get deep in the playoffs. And they're going to educate this young group, and they're going to be tough on them, I think. You're going to see some very vocal leaders in the playoffs, the Uyghurs, the Coles, these guys, Sergachevs that's been on the Lightning and been deep in the playoffs. These are the guys that are going to have to go up to the young guys when they overskate a puck or make a bad play or make a bad pass and say, hey, There's only 7 of these. We need the best of what you got right now. Let that go behind you. Put that in the rear view mirror, and we got to move on to the next play, because playoff hockey comes at you fast. Puck luck, deflections, bounces, all kinds of stuff can end in goals. So you got to be tight. And I think that the vets of the Mammoth will keep the young guys in tow.
Yeah, I mean, you look, that's a nice blend, because in contrast, the 6 guys who lead the Utah Mammoth in points, Krause, Keller, Schmaltz, those 3 have appeared in just 21 playoff games, so very small sample size. Logan Cooley, Dylan Gunther, J.J. Peterka, they're all making their playoff debut. They've never played in a playoff game before. Sunday will be the very first time. So Sunday night, 8 o'clock, Clayton Keller, Jack Eichel, head-to-head.
Yeah.
Let's go.
2 USA players won the gold medal together, and now they are back in a playoff series against each other. How about that? So that'll be fun to watch.
It's going to be fun. Who will lead the Mammoth in goals if they win the series? Is it Keller? Is it Gunther? Or is it Peterka or somebody else? Schmaltz, who's been hot lately?
It's probably Gunther's He was a 40-goal scorer this year, first time in his career, and I think he is kind of their power play kind of sniper. He lines up on the left dot, much like Ovechkin, and sits there and waits for the one-timer. I think on the power play, if the Knights are to give up some penalties here and there, Gunther could be the guy that leads this team in scoring. Keller's the easy choice because he's just the guy that kind of leads and paces them as far as puck handling and zone entries. So he'll get some shots, and as well as Cooley, who was hurt for a juncture of the season. He's come on strong in the last couple of weeks. So there's a lot of speed. Like, that's the thing I talk about the Knights, and how young the Mammoth are. The Knights, by average age, are the 27th oldest team in the NHL. So the fresh legs of the Mammoth versus the veteran headiness and high IQ of the Knights D-core will be a big matchup as well, because the Mammoth are going to come and skate at you fast.
Yeah.
They're going to bring the speed to the ice, no matter if it's a T-Mobile or Delta Center. They love to get out in the open ice. So,
again, this Sunday, T-Mobile Arena.
Yes.
8 o'clock Mountain Time. ESPN will have the game 1. Tuesday, T-Mobile game 2 of the series. That'll be on ESPN 2.
I might actually, I'm reconsidering. If you don't want to go on Sunday, as we only get one cred from them most of the time, I think I might go.
Yeah.
Do you want to go? I'm asking you on air right now.
I always want to go. I always want to go, but
go?
I'm going to be in Salt Lake all day Saturday.
And you probably
won't get home till late, and I'm not so sure if I will get down there Sunday or not.
Right.
Odds are I would want to just chill with the girls. So,
right. Giving me the green light, baby.
Yeah, and then I'm going to be. I'm leaving. I got a quick trip next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Be back Saturday.
That's right.
So like game 3. Game 3 is at the Delta Center. I'll be watching that from probably my hotel room or a local restaurant or something. But I only miss one game in the series while I'm out of town. It's always nice to be at the venue, but there's something about watching, your teams you cover from the comfort of your favorite, couch, recliner, lazy boy, whatever what are they, love sack? Those are popular now, right? Although I don't have one. Do you have a love sack, Paulie?
I don't.
You need one.
Yeah.
You need a little love in your life.
That's right.
We've got Knights Mammoth, baby. Game 1, Sunday night. We'll circle back. We'll get our picks on this series at the end of the show. And we'll let you know next week if we end up out and about for a watch party at some point in this series at a local establishment around St. George where, give away some prizes, maybe invite you all to come hang out with us. But the dates and times came out last night. The first round of the 2026 Stanley Cup between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Utah Mammoth. Times are set for games 1, 2, and 3. It'd still be determined on 4 through potentially 7 on the start times of those games. But I mean, somewhere between 6:30 and 8:30, in that evening window, all those games are going to be pretty close to the same start time.
Yeah.
Going to take a break. Off and running. Lots to get to. Let's recap the local sports from last night and a big series coming up tonight for Utah Tech baseball. We'll do that after a quick timeout. It's The Drive. Stay with us on the Fan Sports Network from the Findlay Hyundai Studios. We are off and running on a Feel Good Friday. Yeah, we are riding right along on the drive. Good morning, sports fans. How you doing? Thanks for loading us in, loading us up here on the Fan Sports Network. Always fun. Love having you along with us on the drive. Paulie, lots to get to today.
Yes.
Lots to get to today. I don't know why all my buttons on the board just decided to go down. That was interesting.
Wow. That is interesting.
Yes, scaring the... I was just trying to turn the bumper down.
Yeah, we
Get
got
out of here, Chase Rice.
All right.
Good to have you in on a Friday show today. Brought to you by Coral Canyon Golf Course. Coral Canyon, it is perfect out there. Cool temps, grass is growing, tee boxes are dialed, fairways are perfectly manicured, bunkers renovated over a year ago. Stay out of them though. Views epic. Coral Canyon has the Bistro 72 grill, fully stocked pro shop with all your soft goods. Grab a shirt, grab a hat, grab some extra golf balls, and get out and play Coral Canyon golf. Going to be a beautiful day again to swing the sticks today on a Friday or any day this weekend. It's supposed to be, 60s, 70s, little low 80s starting again next week, but it actually feels like we're getting a little bit of a spring right now, which I absolutely love. 435-688-1700 for your tee times. That's 435-688-1700 for your tee times. So get out and play at Coral Canyon Golf Course. It's fantastic. Paulie, some local scores from last night. Baseball. Let's start with the baseball scores last night. We'll give you a preview of that big series and the old Hammer rivalry coming up here in just a second. Snow Canyon took care of Pineview. You had game one of the series. Game two was last night.
Yeah.
Warriors get the sweep and look like they're just rolling right along. 8-4 the final.
Wow.
In that game last night. And Pineview just couldn't keep up with Snow Canyon. Bridger Larson doubled the right field. Diesel Lee singled the left, and they were off and scoring. And they never looked back. Another big night for P.J. Hancock, as he is raking right now. P.J. Hancock, who was our Jimmy John's highlight of the week, and it was his home run the other night that kind of got them going. Had a bunch of RBIs, and he followed it up. Guys like Trayvon Hansen and Bridger Larson, P.J. Hancock have been really swinging well. That's the thing about Snow Canyon, Paulie, is, if the top of the order is doing their thing with Ross and Mugavaro and Kelch, they get so much production from the bottom of their lineup. Paulie, as a team, this team is just absolutely 1 through 9 swinging it right now, and they've got really good pitching. They look like the favorite in Region 9 right now, don't they?
I would say they're probably the top team, not only in Region 9, but a favorite and front runner in the state tournament talks. So, it's just been kind of what you expect from Coach Sechrist and his squad, because they're always there. Whether you believe at the beginning of the season, whenever in the non-region play, you see them take a couple losses here and there. They started below Desert Hills in the overall ranking, or in the overall record and rankings preseason, but here they are, as they always are. So not surprised.
And look, with Zach Beck and with Trent Chris and with and P.J. Hancock can pitch, and Trayvon can pitch, and Magavaro can pitch. They have pitching. They have depth.
Yeah.
Cale Esplin can pitch.
Yeah.
He's kind of their number 2 starter. So they've got enough arms to where they'll complement the offense. That's why I say what I said and feel like they're the favorite right now. One region loss. That was a 13-11 extra inning game where they actually hit a walk-off home run that was disallowed because it was a balk on the play in the bottom of the 7th inning, or they would have walked off and been undefeated in region play.
Yeah.
And so that's how close they've been. And that was the game where, there was 3 ejections, a player and 2 coaches. I mean, it was just utter chaos earlier in the season against Dixie. Seems like there's always fireworks when those 2 teams lace them up head-to-head, toe-to-toe. Trent Crisp, he lost last time out to Bishop Gorman, got roughed up and didn't get deep into the game at all. And Bishop Gorman's Bishop Gorman. That was last Saturday.
Yeah.
Bounced back in a big way last night against Pineview. Goes 5 innings, scatters 7 hits, gives up 2 runs, 1 earned, and strikes out 7. So 2 of his last 3 outings, he's had 12 Ks and 7 Ks. So Trent Chris back on track. Hancock Bridger Larson, some of these guys that are coming on, complimenting the other stars on this Snow Canyon team. So big win last night, 8-4. Snow Canyon beats Pineview. The other game is Hurricane has to go off of that unbelievable game where they beat Desert Hills. They turn around and play a night later against Crimson in that makeup game.
Yeah,
that was postponed, and Crimson too much to handle for the Tigers. They couldn't string them together. 6-1 the final. In that game, you had Fitzgerald, the starting pitcher, give up all 6 runs, all earned. It just wasn't meant to be. You wondered if Hurricane, hey, are they on the come up? Yeah, they're better. They're in every game. Can they string a few together? They got 2 region wins. Could they get to the third, which would have really helped them in the RPI, beating the defending champs? This is one Crimson needs to keep pace with Snow Canyon. With that series looming against the Warriors. And Chesnick goes the full 7 innings on the bump, 4 hits, 1 earned run, walks 1, and strikes out 9. So Quinn Chesnick was sensational on the bump for Coach Justin Abbott and the Mustangs yesterday.
That's big time, as Crimson probably, one of the front runners' favorites in the state talk as well. Probably not off to as good of a start as they would have expected, but we know this is a super good team, really well rounded. Obviously was a low seed in the state tournament last year, made that run all the way to raise the trophy. So I would never rule them out. I think that they're going to be a contender late into the season. So good to see Crimson getting back on track.
Yeah, this is a team that now is starting to roll a little bit, and you look at Snow Canyon, they're now the #1 team in the latest Des News rankings. A lot of Warrior fans were a little bit impatient there. They thought they should have been ranked 1 earlier, but again, Paulie, typical Region 9 fashion.
Yeah,
Snow Canyon 18-4, #1. Lost that state championship game to Crimson. They want a shot at it again this year. Timpanogos stays at 2. Desert Hills has now dropped down to 3. They're 16-6 after lost to Hurricane the other day. They're 4-5 in region. They've lost 5 of their 6 games in the region. That's how good Region 9 is parity-wise this year. Crimson is at 4 in the rankings, and Dixie's still clinging to number 5, even though the Flyers are just 12-9 and they're not hitting the ball like Shunner Nyberg, their skip, would like.
Yeah,
they're hanging in there at number 5 with a 12-9 record. What's that tell you about Region 9?
It's deep. Yeah, it speaks to the depth of the quality of teams that we have. So since 2013, it's been since another team outside of this region's won the baseball state title. So I would say that trend probably continues this year with how many good teams we have.
Yeah, and of course, rankings, RPI, you're using that RPI to seed for state. Obviously, everybody going to be paying close attention. We haven't looked at the RPI much in baseball yet this year.
Yeah.
Paulie, we do in football. I feel like we talk about it more, but I don't know if it's just because we know Region 9 baseball is always there at the end, and it comes down to who's hot at the end, and somebody's going to win a state championship. A Region 9 team has won 2014 all the way through last year, 2025, a state championship.
Yeah.
And so, but Snow Canyon, just like in the Des News rankings, is #1 in the RPI rankings right now.
Yeah.
Desert Hills is 3. Okay. Crimson is 7, Dixie is 9, Cedar is 11, Pineview is sitting 13, and Hurricane 16.
Yeah.
So all the teams are in the top 16. Remember how it works out. If you're 1 through 8, you get the bye, and then you got 24 teams that make it, and then 9 through 15 play, and then 16 through 23 or 24, whatever it is, go on the road, and then you got these mini regional best of 3s to start the playoffs, and it's a true double elimination bracket with a best of 3 championship series. So all 7 teams are in the top 16 in the RPI, and 4 of our teams are in the top 5 rankings in the state rankings right now.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. I mean, there's 28 4A baseball schools.
Yeah.
So there's a little breakdown. Speaking of baseball, and I thought about heading up the freeway for tonight's game, in fact, because Utah Tech is traveling to Orem. I got to be up there for a soccer game with my daughter tomorrow. But I think my daughter and other kids decided they want me to take them to the Neon Trees concert tonight out at the Washington County Fair. If you haven't heard, Neon Trees, they're a Utah band.
Yeah.
Everybody Talks, Animal. They got some good ones. They've got some hits.
Yeah, they got a couple hits.
I'm kind of excited.
For sure. Everybody Talks.
Yeah, kind of excited about that show.
Yeah,
and so
Everybody Talks.
Yeah.
Might have been a Billboard. Let me see where that
Well, you're a
ranked.
hits guy. You should know this, right? Everybody Talks, 2010 maybe, 2011 that song came out. It's been floating around for a long time now.
It made it to number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100. So it was a mega hit.
Yeah, what about Animal? What was the highest Animal ever got?
I'll have to make a
Sleeping with a Friend.
Animal.
They've got Bad Dreams off their 2024 album. I geek out on a little Neon Trees. I'm actually excited about this band. Not one that's a mainstream band and as big as some of the stars out there, but I still think a lot of people know and have heard Neon Trees music.
Yes.
So that's probably what I'll end up doing tonight.
Animal
How high did it climb?
looks like 13.
13. So it was a good song. It did well.
Made it there.
Yeah.
Billboard Hot 100 peak was 13.
Okay.
Yes. And it was pretty good for the alternative rock, new wave, pop rock, dance rock, all falls under the Hot 100.
Yeah.
So a lot of songs you're competing against to get all the way to 13. Pretty cool.
Utah Tech will be in Orem, though, and back in WAC play. Remember, they stepped out of WAC play last weekend and played Azusa Pacific, winning 2 out of 3. Probably would have had a chance to get the sweep, but there was a home run kind of robbed, and there was some tags that were called out, and that opportunity slipped away in that first game. They lose 11-8.
Yeah.
But then they bounce back, win game 2 and 3. So they're now 23 wins already, Paulie. They've only played one WAC series against Sac State, where they got 2 out of 3.
That's right.
So they're 2-1 in the WAC. So these are very crucial in-state games against a rival inside of conference play. Final season in the WAC. We know Coach Fate and the baseball team is going to the Mountain West Conference. So is the men's soccer team after this season. That'll be official this summer. The rest of the sports going to the Big Sky, but the Big Sky doesn't have baseball or men's soccer, so they'll go to the Mountain West in those 2 specific sports. It's a 3-game series. Utah Valley is dangerous. I know their overall record right now is 15-21, and they're 1-2 in WAC, but this is a very capable team. Really well coached. The all-time record between these two teams on the diamond, Utah Tech is 13-16 against them in NCAA competition. UVU has kind of had the last laugh lately, though. Trailblazers have lost 7 straight and 9 of their last 11 in the rivalry over the last 3 seasons. So is this the year they get back on track, go up there and get the series win, maybe even flirt with a sweep this weekend? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I'd hope the sweep is in the cards, so I'm hoping they can get that done.
Pretty good midweek this week. Lose a heartbreaker 8-6 to UNLV, but then bounce back and blow out Wazoo. They actually mercy rule Wazoo 18-8.
Yeah,
I mean, pretty good midweek game to play UNLV and Washington State University, both at home, which is kind of fun. And now they just make that short trip. I'm sure the team went up there last night, and they'll be there through the weekend with games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Coach Fadenauer, who's a good friend of our show, reached another milestone. He coached his 800th career collegiate baseball game earlier this month in April. 800 games Coach Fate has coached. And he's going to be coaching his 700th game here at Utah Tech in Game 2 of the Blazers WAC Road Series at Cal Baptist, which will be next weekend.
Yeah.
So almost here soon, it'll be 700 here. So 100 elsewhere, and now 700 here. He's been here since Mike Littlewood left. Longtime JUCO coach that went up to take the BYU job, and that's when Coach Fate came in, and he is the longest tenured coach at Utah Tech, except for John Judkins.
Yeah.
So
that's right, longevity.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to play their 1,000th NCAA baseball game next month, early May, when they play UT Arlington on May 8th. Coach Fate's won 56% of his games, and this is their 20th NCAA era season. So 553 wins to this date in time. They've had some tests. They've had 4 of their 23 games go to extra innings this year.
That's a lot.
So they've had some extra bonus baseball, as I like to say. They just had an 8-game homestand. Paulie, I don't know if fans realize this, but Utah Tech had 3 grand slams in this last homestand. It was an 8-game homestand. And they have 6 grand slams in 37 games this year. They like the grand slam league. Get the rye bread and the mustard, and it's a grand salami. Hey, how about Petey Soto?
Yeah, he's having a great year.
Oh, he had a slam. Cooper Smith had one, and Kyle McDaniel had one the other night against Wazoo. So those are the 3 in this homestand. So, and the pitching's been a lot better this year than last year. So excited to see. You can watch the games on ESPN Plus, as they will have game 1 tonight at 6:05. Utah Tech at Utah Valley, and this rivalry is going away as far as conference opponents, Paulie, because UVU is going to the Big West and Utah Tech is going to the Big Sky.
Yeah,
and so we lose this conference rivalry. Not to say they still can't schedule each other on occasion. But we won't see this as a rival in conference, and we'll switch to Weber State versus Utah Tech. But we'll keep the SUU rivalry, as SUU, of course, is going to the Big Sky with the Trailblazers. You mentioned something interesting about SUU, and that was their men's basketball.
Yeah,
well, 5 huge money games playing. Next year, Miami and High Point, some big games for Coach Jeter and the T-Birds. So that was making the news and the rounds on social media. We talked about that yesterday on the show.
Like 5 or so games there where they're getting 80,000+.
Yeah, it was like $500,000 plus for those 5 games. The most winnable game I think you and I saw was this at San Jose men's basketball game.
The other ones are in High Point. I know they had a great year last year, but I think that they're beatable. But those other ones, I think they had a Miami. They had a let me see if I can find that. I had it yesterday.
Yeah, I know we flashed that up yesterday on the screen there for our viewers watching the live stream.
Can't find
on YouTube. All right, little local baseball there with some of the scores last night. There was one softball game last night. Dixie 15-0 over Pineview. I don't think there was any boys soccer last night. Let me double check that as we're rounding out some of our local storylines. Yeah, there was no soccer last night, but there'll be some games on the pitch tonight, Paulie. Out there around Region 9. Dixie is at Crimson, Snow Canyon is at Cedar, and Desert Hills is out in Hurricane. Those are your boys soccer games coming up tonight around town. As for baseball, yes, there's baseball. We don't have a game for you tonight. We brought you games midweek this week. We did games on Tuesday and Wednesday night. But you do have games if you want to get out and watch, even though we won't have a broadcast tonight. You've got some action. Hurricane is at Desert Hills tonight. Cedar is at Crimson tonight. So those are your matchups that you can get out and watch in high school baseball. Got to take a break. Back in a flash. Show today brought to you by Prime IV. Getting allergies, sniffles, you all plugged up, eyes are running watery. Go get the Allergy Buster. You can get your favorite super powerful drip. Add the Allergy Buster for just $69. I did it last month. I'm going back in next Tuesday. Going to hit it one more time to get me all the way into the summer months where the allergies are not so bad here in southern Utah. I've had hay fever since I was a kid. I have no idea what I'm allergic to. Grass, dust, chickweed, rabbit brush. I don't know what it is. You know, I get out in the desert looking for a lost golf ball way too often, and I get plugged up after the round. And Allergy Buster from Prime IV is the answer. It will help you so much. You know, pair that up with a Canalog shot, and you're in good shape, and you can breathe again, and you spend less time in the grocery store at the allergy aisle. Yeah, so go see our friends. PrimeIVSTG.com. That's PrimeIVSTG.com, or you can swing on in and stop in and see them off Riverside Drive. Also, Gonna do a scalp massage at the Eden Head and Scalp parlor there inside of Prime IV. They've got a nice little add-on there. I've never had a scalp massage before.
Yeah.
How good does that sound on a Feel Good Friday?
Sounds pretty good.
Oh, baby. Prime IV, proud sponsor of The Drive. All right, got to take a break. Back in a flash. It's The Drive, Fan Sports Network. Don't touch that dial. All of my buttons went dark.
I don't know what's wrong with that.
You, dude. Like, all of them are dark. Like, these I had to turn on. Like, they're not lit up at all. Should I go 1 back to 2? None of this stuff's lit up at the top.
I don't know. That's never happened before. Maybe I should get Chris. See what he can figure
I
out.
don't know if our stream's working or not. That's the question. You know what I mean? Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is The Drive coming at you out of the Findlay Hyundai Studios. Devin Dixon flexing on a Friday. Paulie Ratliff, give me a Friday flex.
There we
Come
go,
on.
buddy.
Oh, look at those guns, dude.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. We're fired up. Thanks for locking us in. Loading us up here on your hometown sports source. Oh, my goodness. We are rolling right through the first hour. A couple things that I wanted to mention. I failed to mention this yesterday. And if we get some time next hour, I'll play a clip from Colin Simmons. Colin Simmons yesterday, Paulie, star, 6'8", kind of a versatile wing. You know, can play the 3, 4, 5 at the high school level. Could probably play the 2, 3, or 4 at the college level if he improves the three-point shooting. But he's a pretty good three-point shooter. And Colin Simmons committed to Salt Lake Community College. And the cool thing, I was down at the signing day Wednesday afternoon. It was cool because Coach Tyler Roberts got up and spoke, and then Coach Dave Rice. You remember Dave Rice?
Yeah.
A longtime BYU assistant coach.
Sure.
Was the UNLV assistant coach, then the head coach for a while.
Yeah.
He's now the Salt Lake Community College coach.
Wow. Okay.
He was in attendance for Colin Simmons signing day. You've been to a lot of these signing days with me.
Yeah, I have.
Usually the college football coach, basketball coach, baseball coach, they're never in attendance.
Not
so I
normally.
thought that was pretty cool that Dave Rice from Slick would drive all the way down from Salt Lake to attend a 15, 20-minute signing day.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Pretty
that
cool.
Means something.
Even when asked, Coach Roberts said, hey, I'd love for Coach Rice, if you'd like, to say a couple things. He got up there and talked for 3-4 minutes. He also has added Jordan Roberts. So Jordy, J-Rob, has transferred from Snow College to Slick. So 2 Flyers will be with
that's pretty cool.
Salt Lake Community College.
Yeah.
The other big thing around town is McKay Lindquist just signed with Southwest Oregon in Coos Bay, which is a junior college. So he is committed.
Yeah, that's cool too.
We haven't seen anything out of Brigham Kemp, Jelani Ojegba, Travis Murdoch, Reggie Mack. I haven't heard. Now, some of these guys might go on a mission and maybe don't commit right out of high school, but still could play later.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, the timeline just shifts a little bit if they decide to go on a mission. But these JUCO route, I mean, these are really good players, and that would probably in another era, and when we were 10 years ago, would probably be going to a 4-year school right now. But JUCO, the route now, it seems for really talented guys to get more exposure, get more looks. We see Sean Feltz. He's getting offers all over the place right now after just playing, 2 years at Snow?
Yeah.
So
he just signed. He committed. That was my next point.
Oh, okay. Where'd he go?
It is official.
Yeah.
Breaking news this morning. Utah State.
Wow.
Utah State men's basketball, their new head coach. They're building next season's roster. They announced the signings of Snow College transfer, former Crimson Cliffs Mustang, 6'11", Sean Feltz. They also got a commitment from Jordan Boyd and Jax Allen, a couple high school guys. Feltz had 13.1 rebounds, 13 points, 6.7 rebounds per game this season for Snow, who spent a good portion of the last 2 years ranked as number 1 in the JUCO ranks.
Yeah, really impressive season, and good to know that he's staying in state with Ben Jacobson and the Aggies. That's a big get, literally and figuratively, for Utah State.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
That's pretty cool.
Sean Feltz, Utah State, and Coach Jacobson not messing around. I think that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is. Play at the Spectrum in front of that crowd, that historic program.
Yep.
In Jacobson's first year, it shows you a lot that he wanted to seek out Sean Feltz in his first season.
This is what Colin Simmons had today about going to Salt Lake Community College when I caught up with him the other day at his signing day. Give it a listen. See if I can get this. There you go. A couple other questions there, but coming up on the end of hour one. But fun to catch up with Colin Simmons. I always love it when I get
Awesome
the
kid.
invite from, I feel like I'm part of the crew when I get these invites to these signing days, and I always love going and supporting these local kids. So big to see some names called. All right, hour one in the books. Hour two coming up when we come back. Yeah, inside the Finley Hyundai Studios, Devin Dixon, Paulie Ratliff. Glad you're with us on your Feel Good Friday. Hour one was fun. Spent some time breaking down the dates, times, TV networks for the Utah Mammoth and the Vegas Golden Knights. Game 1 Sunday night, 8 o'clock, Mountain Time.
Yes.
ESPN. And the game 2 on Tuesday, ESPN 2. Game 3, we have Friday. We have Wednesday, Thursday off as they go from just Vegas to Salt Lake. So you do have 2 days off between game 2 and 3 as they move from T-Mobile up to the Delta Center. And then, of course, every other day after that all the way through a game 7 if necessary. And TBS for game 3 is the TV network. And
all right.
We're all fired up for the series.
Big time. Big time stuff.
Paulie has convinced me, and we have put in a credential request, and we'll see if we can get down to the game Sunday night.
That's right. It is in as of 7:39. So it is in there.
Let's go.
So it's on top of the pile, baby.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do this. Let's get you up to speed. Some of the headlines, some things making news that Paul and I have noticed around town, and let's get to it. We call it our top 8 at 8. It's brought to you by our good friends at One Health, Dixie Primary Care. They specialize in chronic conditions like diabetes. They can handle your high blood pressure, heart health, thyroid issues. One Health, Dixie Primary Care. One doctor for the whole family. Let's go. Well, I thought I had the top 8 ready, Paulie, but I misfired on that.
All right.
Complete whiff on my part. Froze me and everything.
Froze you. There we go.
Yes. By the way, speaking of the Mammoth, they did drop their final game of the season last night. Utah lost 5-3 to the Blues at home. Yamamoto, Krause, and Carcone scored.
Yes. It was they did the awards after the game as well, and Clayton Keller was awarded the team MVP as voted by the fans. So pretty cool stuff there for the Mammoth. And they begin their first round playoff series on Sunday. I got a hot one fresh off the press here from the transfer portal, unfortunately. Another blow to the SUU program here as the WAC all-defensive team, 13.5 point per game scorer, Jaden Farrow, has entered the transfer portal. Tough loss for SUU. He was a good player last year. Really filled it up for him. And I think against Utah Tech had a hell of a game, like a 20-plus point game in that road game at SUU. I remember listening to Rod following that game throughout, and tough loss for the Trailblazers, but a big night for Farrow. And Farrow is on to a different school, most likely, as he has entered the portal as of 12 hours ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, the portal giveth, the portal taketh away.
That's right.
We are used to this. There's no shockers anymore.
Yeah. It's kind of just a waiting game when they're going to announce.
I don't know Jaden Farrow, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he has ties to Southern Utah. So I wonder if he wants to stay in state or if he had a good year last year. Versatile big, a stretch 3 kind of type player.
Yeah.
Pick and pop type of guy. But I think it came down to Tech and SUU previously. So you kind of wonder, would he consider, I mean, you have to throw that notion out that maybe he would consider coming down the I-15 corridor to Utah Tech. We've seen T-Birds and Trailblazers in this portal era exchange some players more than one occasion, more than one sport. It happens often, not quite often, but often.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of, just the musical chairs, teams trying to find a spot or players trying to find a spot, the money game, the playing time, the coach fit, all that stuff doesn't matter as much anymore. I feel like money has kind of been the trump card over everything, and Farrow finding his way into the portal is disappointing for SUU. But
and look, if he gets a bigger offer, I understand. You go in the portal, to get re-recruited and see what your fair
value.
market value is. And then when the dust settles, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we've seen players from high majors, mid majors, low majors, all transferring D2. There's a flood of D2 players in the portal as well. So the portal is kind of everyone's evaluation. Your rapid evaluation, what you're worth, and Faro the latest to test that.
The other storylines out there locally, Bees game got postponed. They couldn't take the field yesterday. They're playing the Sugarland Space Cowboys. They'll do a doubleheader on Saturday.
Who was wearing a Bees hat? Luminary, legendary basketball player. Take a guess. Probably just wearing it for the style.
With the ties to the state of Utah?
No ties to the state of Utah. As a DC guy.
Legendary basketball player?
Hoopster. He was cited at the 76ers game, if that gives you any hint.
Oh.
A 76ers
Dr.
game
J.
wearing a
Julius
Salt Lake
Irving.
Bees hat. No, not Julius.
Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson, indeed. Wearing the Salt Lake Bees hat.
Wow.
Just the other day. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wonder if he's got
black one with the yellow logo. I'm looking at the video right now of AI wearing the Bees hat.
No, does he have ties to anybody, any players on the team?
He's from Hampton Roads, Virginia, played high school in Virginia, played college at Georgetown, played at the 76ers and the Nuggets and the Grizzlies. I'm trying to think of all the teams he played at the end for, but I don't think any ties. Never had a stint with the Jazz, of course, but he is repping the Bees.
There's no known official public ties to the team, but if he's wearing a Bees hat, which is an affiliate of the Angels, I mean, the media, the fans in Utah are going to notice
just be a cool logo type thing.
Yeah.
You might just love the logo.
AI's got fashion.
He does.
It is a cool logo.
It is a nice logo. So I enjoyed seeing that the other day.
Speaking of the portal, the Utah State men's basketball team, they're building that roster around Mason Falslev and Carson Templin.
Yeah.
Aggies announced the signing of 6'11" Crimson Cliffs Mustang and Snow College transfer Sean Feltz.
Yeah.
Sean Feltz, the latest to commit to Utah. I was following him on the socials, saw him and his dad up there. Obviously, Zach played golf here. His other brother was a good golfer too. But Sean is all hoops all the time.
Yeah.
And he did play golf in high school at 6'11".
Yeah, that's cool. That's a big fella playing golf.
He had 2 years out of Snow, and he is headed to Utah State with Coach Jacobson.
Yeah.
They also signed Jordan Boyd and Jax Allen, a couple of high school players, and I'm sure they're still really busy in the portal trying to round that roster out, because we know Utah State said they're going to have a little extra NIL money after their tournament run this year and winning the Mountain West and the Mountain West Conference tournament. They were going to try to take it from like $2 million. It sounds like they were going to go up to as high as maybe a $5 million roster, which is huge for little Utah State.
Be awesome. And you got the right mind evaluating and bringing in the players, as Sean Feltz, the latest example of Utah State's not rebuild, but kind of retool as they retool for next season on the fly. I found that as we were mentioning the SUU road games. I found that tweet.
Oh, that's right.
This can be a headline as well. Utah, for anyone who didn't hear yesterday, Southern Utah, the T-Birds, will play road games at the following next year. High Point on Thursday, November 12th. Wake Forest, Saturday, November 14th. Makes sense. They're both in the state of North Carolina. Texas on Thursday, November 19th. Miami on November 28th. And San Jose State on December 12th. Every single one of those games, 90+ thousand coming back to the T-Birds. So big money coming for these money games.
100%. Coach Jeter and the guys will be tested, should get them ready for Big Sky play. And I like the timeliness of that announcement, Paulie, because as you're trying to lure
I don't
guys,
think it's been announced officially. This is
it's leaked.
This leaked stuff here, yes.
But if it's true,
it'll be true. This guy does college basketball schedule leaks all the time.
It's not an official. It's not on their website right now.
That's right.
But I'm saying this is still a timely post, because now you're like, hey, look, you want to compete against the best? You want some big time matchups? Go to some big time college basketball venues.
And if you score against Miami or rebound or get numbers, assists, steals, blocks, whatever,
it's a showcase game.
That is showcase game. So if you see SUU as a stop for you or the ultimate destination, it depends on the player, of course. These big games against high major opponents are massive.
My point is, I think that actually helps Coach Jeter in a way.
I think it does.
Yeah.
I think it helps recruiting. So, yes, the timeliness of that announcement which hasn't been officially announced by SUU on their website, like you say, but all sources say that this is what they're going to be getting for these games.
High school baseball scores from last night. Warriors beat the Panthers 8-4. Another big game for PJ Hancock and Bridger Larson. Larson goes 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs. PJ 2 for 2 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs scored and drew 2 base on balls. So big day there. Trayvon also 2 for 4 in that 8-4 win for SC. Still just that one loss in region play as they sweep the Panthers this week. And Crimson, they continue their winning ways. After splitting some series early in the year, they sweep Hurricane. 1-run extra inning win the other night. And this time they get them last night 6-1 the final. And a big day at the plate for Quinn Chesnick as he goes the distance. All 7 innings, gives up just 1 earned run, 4 hits, and struck out 9.
Wow, nice outing.
To national news here in your top 8 at 8.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Zag. Protect it better. Zag, 2 St. George, 1 Cedar City location. The NBA play-in tournament continues tonight. 2 final playoff spots are up for grabs.
Yeah.
Magic will host the Hornets. That'll be for the 8th seed. Winner will get the Pistons. And then Suns will play the Warriors for the 8th seed in the West, and the winner will get OKC. So Suns, Warriors, Magic, Hornets. I kind of feel like after the Warriors beat the Clippers, they should beat the Suns, but for some reason I think I would pick the Suns. And I don't trust Orlando. I know they've got some talented players, Suggs and Banchero and on and on and on, but I the mellow ball thing with the trip and the fine the other day, the gutsy win 127-126. I think I'll lean Hornets on this one.
All right.
Who you got?
I'll probably lean Hornets too. Khan and LaMelo, and despite his dirty play, he's still a great player. I like the Hornets. I think they're an upstart little franchise.
And then, of course, the first round of the NBA postseason will start on Saturday. Well, 4 games on Saturday. The day will begin with the Cavs hosting the Raptors. Then you got Minnesota traveling to take on the Nuggets. The Knicks then play host to the Hawks. And then the day will be capped off Lakers and Rockets. 4 more matchups Sunday, including the Celtics and the 76ers. San Antonio will get the Blazers. The Thunder and the Pistons are still waiting for tonight's outcome to determine who they play. Of course, Stanley Cup playoffs are set to begin this weekend. Action has 3 games on Saturday as well.
Yeah.
Carolina Hurricanes will host Ottawa. Dallas Stars and Minnesota Wild will face off in the Lone Star State. And the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers will renew their rivalry.
That's right. I got one more here, NFL related. This draft is closing in, and this guy's been one of the more talked about prospects. And he's holding a private individual workout. He didn't do the pro day at Arizona State, but for 18 NFL teams are expected to attend wide receiver Jordan Tyson's personal workout today at Arizona State. He is talked about as a top 20 pick, and his injury concerns a big thing. He sat out the latter half of last year, but this guy's a super talent, and he will be holding kind of a pseudo pro day for 18 NFL teams today. Jordan Tyson, future first-round pick come next week, I think.
The other one, I want to get your take on this. I don't know if you saw this, Paulie. Little bonus ball here, maybe 2 bonus balls. But fans of college football may be getting a little earlier yearly gift than before. The NCAA's Football Oversight Committee recommended an earlier official start to the season.
Wow. I like that.
That would begin in 2027 before Labor Day weekend. Under the proposal, the regular season would begin on the Thursday of what is now called Week 0 and still end on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Schools would have 14 weeks to schedule 12 games, allowing for flexibility for potential changes to the postseason.
Ah, interesting.
So maybe moving it up a week.
Yeah.
Then Week 0 would come even a week earlier, and it'd be week -1. I don't know what you call that. NASCAR Cup Series visits Kansas on Sunday. The Advent Health 400. Ty Gibbs coming off the win last week in Bristol. RBC Heritage, your round 1 recap. Ludwig Oberg, who I thought would have a better Masters than he did, is sitting atop the leaderboard after the first round. It's his signature event. He shot 8 under 63, Paulie.
Wow.
And Victor Hovland, Harris English sitting there at 7 under par, tied for second. Other notables, Gary Woodland, Ricky Fowler, Matt Fitzpatrick in a 6-way tie for fourth at 6 under. And you've already got guys out on the course this morning in the second round. Tony Finau, not a good opening round at all for Tony, who missed the Masters, but is playing this week. With the week off, he shot 4 over 75 yesterday, had a triple bogey, and I believe it was the par 4 8th. And so if he wants to make the cut, he's going to have to at least shoot 64 or 65 today. 5 or 6 under. I'm guessing the cut will be no worse than 4 under par today. With good scoring conditions. Ricky Fowler has now got a tie for the lead. He's already 2 under on his, just made his loop to the back 9 in round 2. So there's a Ricky sighting out there. Captain Keegan Bradley, Ryder Cup Capitan, already 3 under through his first 6 holes. He's all the way up tied for third now. So he's out there on the course right now. All right, got to take a timeout. When we come back, the Epson Tour, Copper Rock, going to be bumping in a couple weeks. Chad is going to stop by. They got some clinics, some things to fill you in on. We're going to have a good chat about everything you need to know going on out there. And then after that, about 8:40, Coach Lance Anderson, Utah Tech head football coach, going to drop by the show today as well. Paul, we haven't chatted with Coach this spring, but I'm excited to have Coach stop by the show today and get everybody ready for the spring football game.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, the spring football game is set for this Saturday night at 6 o'clock down at Greater Zion. Admission is free, and it's open to the public. There'll be food trucks, fun activities throughout the evening. And then afterward, after the spring football game, fans can go do on-field autograph session with the Trailblazer football student athletes and coaches, which will be a little before 9 o'clock that they'll wrap that up. So if you want to stick around on your Saturday night, some of the kids can go get some signatures out there. Of course, Utah Tech will make its season and Big Sky Conference debut at home against the defending champ Montana State Bobcats on August 29th. They have a 7-game road schedule. 1 week later, week 2, they drive north on Interstate 15 to Provo to play Big 12 member BYU on Saturday, September 5th. So how about that start to the season? Montana State and then BYU for Coach Lance Anderson. That is a tough way to start the season against some big teams.
Yeah, that's not an easy runway to get going, but hopefully, and I know this team will be ready.
All right, got to take a break. Back with Chad from Copper Rock with some news and notes after this. Don't touch that dial. Yeah, we are rolling right along on the Fan Sports Network. What's going on your Feel Good Friday? Where's my golfers at? We just did a little top 8 at 8 there. We were talking a little bit about Ricky climbing the leaderboard and tied as they're playing a signature event, which is smart right after the Masters to have a loaded field out there in South Carolina as they're playing the RBC Heritage, and we'll keep you posted on that. Maybe at the end of the show we'll give you another leaderboard look, but we do want to talk some golf today. We've got Chad McGavero in studio here with us with Copper Rock Golf Course. And holy cow, we were just going over in the break everything you guys have going on. We got a lot to inform our listeners about, Chad.
Absolutely. Yeah. Super excited to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
It's a privilege. First time in here. I've known Devin for a couple years, so it's exciting. It's exciting.
What do you think of the digs, man? Make yourself at home. Paulie, did you get our guests some coffee?
I know. I should have.
Some water?
Gotten a fresh cup going here, fresh pot.
That's right. That's right. It's good to have you. Let's start with the Women's Development Series, and then we'll get into what you guys are doing with some summer clinics, the Epson Tour event, and some other stuff as well. But what's going on with the Women's Development Series? I know you guys are doing something there.
Yep. So we are starting on May 6th will be our first one. Our second session will be June 3rd. Really just trying to get the women back over at Copper Rock and involved in the game. Really just looking for just basic stuff, whether you're a beginner, someone in the middle, or someone that's advanced. We'll have a little bit of everything for you, but it's really just a fun social setting, learn a little bit of instruction, get you out on the course, and then we're going to actually do a little putting contest at the end, and that will be the winner of that will actually get a lesson from Alex and I for 35 minutes. For
Nice.
Free. So, yeah.
Nice.
Pretty good gig there.
Paulie's not eligible, though. Women only.
That's
Paulie's
right.
like, dang it, I could use that putting lesson.
But it's only for women, so I'm out.
That might be the strength of your game, the putter.
That's right. Yeah, my short game, everyone's always lauded that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, well, lauded is a big word.
I'm kidding, of course.
Uh,
How do the women sign up for this? Just go to the website?
Yep, go to the website. We have a link on the website as well. And like I said, you could be just starting in the middle of your little golf career, or at an advance. And basically we're going to start each session with some light drinks and some refreshments, kind of cover exactly what we're going to do throughout the event there. Take you out, do some instructions, then get you out on the course, and then we'll end it with a putting contest. So yeah, it's going to be really fun. And
That'll go like how long, Chad?
yeah, we're going to run it from 6 to 8:30.
Okay, so 2.5 hours.
Yep. So we're going to be playing 4 holes out on the course. So that'll probably take at least roughly an hour and a half, and then we'll do a little bit of instruction time, a little bit of orientation, and then obviously we'll end it with a putting contest. So yeah, it's going to be really fun, loose, very social atmosphere. I feel with the ladies, we're moving in the right direction. It doesn't have to be about the competitive nature as the men tend to take it in that direction quite a bit. For the women, it's just getting out there, being social, have a very fun environment, loose environment, and then just really trying to get them geared towards advancing their golf career down the road.
And it is funner when you play a little bit better.
It is.
Yeah,
Very much so.
there's no discounting that. May 6th, the Women's Development Series will start. Another session will be on June 3rd, so you can go to Copper Rock website there and get signed up for that. And then I wanted you to talk just for a second, because I know we probably have some dads and moms out there listening of local juniors. Tell us what's going on with the Utah PGA Junior Leagues.
Right. Good starting point here is just really getting the kids out and playing with each other. It's all geared towards them being out on the course. There will be a little bit of instructional time, but it's really just trying to get kids ages 7 to 17 out in a scramble format. And we are going to be pretty serious about it this go around. We're going to try and do some matches with some teams in Vegas and some teams up north potentially.
Cool.
So we're looking to kind of ramp it up a little bit. We had our first season last spring. And so, yeah, now we're just looking to kind of just really get the ball rolling in a better direction for the kids around here. But yeah, the junior leagues is so much fun. Last year we had a blast with all the kids. It's a really loose environment for them. They come out. We'll usually try to do one older kid and one younger kid, put that in a scramble format, and then they play 2v2. And as I mentioned, we are going to try and get some kids or some matches with other local surrounding cities.
Kind of fun for the younger kids to meet maybe some of the high school kids and play with them, and hey, maybe help them out a little bit.
Yeah,
some of these young kids can play, Chad.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I think you hit a really key point there. Is the older kids kind of take a liking to the youngsters who potentially have some game. And when they team up with them, it just, they're there as a mentor, really. Yeah. And it's just a great atmosphere for kids to build, grow, and learn, and also really just to have fun. I'm a big proponent of having fun. I think when you get into the 13 to 14-year-old range, kind of start to get a little more serious, maybe a little more centralized and emphasized in your craft. But up until that point, it's really just about having fun and being out there with friends and growing and learning.
And it is a fun thing. I was wondering, so for the juniors, how's the reception been? How has the signups? Has there been a lot of excitement for the junior division?
Yeah, so a great question. We lots of excitement. I think we've had probably 6 out of the 12 parents in the last couple months. Like, hey, where's the PGA Junior League? Where are you guys going to bring that back? And I know Green Springs is actually running a PGA Junior League this summer as well. So we'll be able to do some matches with them. But outside of that, yeah, it's just, I mean, it's an awesome, just really fun-filled setting for the kids. And we kind of just let them go out and kind of do their own thing. I mean, obviously we're there to supervise, to instruct, and to help them kind of be in the right direction. But really, it's just them going out and playing and just, having fun and taking down their scores. And if they win, they win. If they great. If they don't, then there's always next time, as we like to say. So.
Yeah, I mean, and reps. They're getting reps.
Lots of reps.
And you're getting competition reps, which is fun in a team setting. You can go play stroke day all you want against your buddies, and you can formulate some stuff within your own group. But this gets the competitive juices flowing just a little bit and kind of simulates. Not necessarily a Ryder Cup event, but with the scramble, it does bring in that team element, which is kind of fun because golf is an individual sport. But when you bring in that team element, I think that's kind of fun for the kids. And it takes the pressure off. You got a partner, all those things.
Exactly. You hit it on the head there with the team dynamic. I think all of us have probably played in a scramble format where we might have sprayed a drive a little left or a little right.
More
but then
than
you
once,
got
more than 100 times. Yeah.
Then you have your partner to kind of back you up. So yeah, no, it's a really fun atmosphere. Like I said, putting them in a competitive environment, but also you have a teammate there too, just in case things get a little offbeat there, so to speak.
Love it. Absolutely love it. We are hanging out with Chad from Copper Rock. You got a great staff out there from Tori to John to Chad to Cash to everybody involved. Penny, who does a great job with all the Epson stuff, which Epson is coming.
Yeah, I see the countdown clock on the for the Copper Rock Championship, May 14th to the 16th. Just 26 days, 15 hours, 28 minutes, and 47 seconds.
I know. This is
countdown.
This is always bittersweet for Paul and I because we love the Epson Tour. I had the honor to play in the Pro-Am a couple of times. I've also done some player introductions on the number 1 hole one year, but this always falls right during state baseball. And this year we're going to be up in Ogden, so we're going to be and just because of the talent of our Region 9 baseball teams, always going and playing for a state championship. We're there Monday through Saturday, and so we're going to be out of town, but we're going to be keeping an eye on this. And I know there's some cool things for fans. You guys have some pretty cool spots like the double-decker 9th and 18th with all the food and beverage, and that's a great place to watch. Up on 17, you guys moved the grandstand a year or two ago. That's pretty cool. And I think you just go to copperrockchampionship.com if I'm not mistaken, or go to Copper Rock
right now.
Yeah, copperrock.com. You can link over to the Epson LPGA Tour event and get all the details, ticket packages, all that stuff.
Yep, 6 years running. This year, just 1 week. The last couple of years, we've had the Legends Senior PGA Championship, which was very fun and exciting to have in town. Just a little tidbit note: we are having a kids clinic on the Saturday, which is the 16th, during the tournament.
Cool.
Just to throw that out there. We did that last year, backed by popular demand once again. As we've discussed, just a lot of things going on at Copper Rock right now, especially for the youth and more importantly for our women. So and those are two areas that we're definitely trying to hone in on. Kind of underserved, we just really want to bring in some programs and events to get those folks out there, have fun, be social, be relaxed, be comfortable, and if you decide to get a little more serious about your game, great. But yeah, we're really excited about the Epson event. Super fun event. I believe it is the best event that they have on that tour. I've been told that some of the stops aren't very don't have a ton of amenities, and I think we kill it for these girls. They love it every single year they come out. We put our best foot forward. Henderson Hospitality does a great job. Penny does a great job, and obviously you've mentioned our staff just always put their best foot forward during these couple weeks. So.
And the pressure's on the Super, but good news, I was out at Copper Rock the other day, and he's getting it dialed. He's going to be able to slick those greens up about as fast as he wants. And look, I played with Gabby Ruffles in the Pro-Am one year, and look what she's done on the LPGA now. She's making cuts and doing well in majors, and she's the real deal. She just won the Grass League thing with her brother the other day. And she started right out of college for a season on the Epson Tour. I remember the Golf Channel coming around, rolling through Copper Rock, doing a feature just on her. And she got a hole-in-one in the Pro-Am that day on hole number 4. So I won't forget that one.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. And I got some video somewhere tucked away on my phone. So Copper Rock, copperrock.com/championship. There's a link right on the main page if you just go to copperrock.com, and you can get your tickets and check out everything. May 14th, 15th, and 16th, they'll be playing the first, second, and final third round out at Copper Rock in Hurricane. Before we let you go, Chad, summer clinics, anything else you got going on this summer?
Yes, we do have we're bringing back by popular demand once again, kind of the reoccurring theme here. We're just building blocks over there at Copper Rock, but we do have 2 junior summer clinics that we're running this summer. The first one will be June 2nd, running through June 23rd, every Tuesday from 9 to 10 a.m. Then our second session will be July 7th, running every Tuesday, going through the 21st of July. $200 per player, includes instruction, playing the course and games. Really fun event, kind of similar to our PGA Junior League, where we get the kids together, take them out on the course. A little more instruction in the summer clinics, but really just geared towards getting them learning, growing, getting them outside the house, away from the screens. So bring your kids out, sign them up.
Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go. Copperrock.com. You can always call the course, ask for Chad or any of the staff. They can fill you in if you have questions about anything we have covered today. I think it's 435-215-4845, if I'm not mistaken. Look it up on your phone to double check. I have most of the golf courses' phone numbers memorized.
I was going to interject.
Yeah.
That's amazing that you've got that recall.
Well, when you call the
Probably
golf,
dial it a bunch of times.
This time of year, you got to call about 6 or 7 golf courses last minute to just hope to find a tee time.
This is true.
I mean, it's look at this weather we're going to have today. Everybody wants to get out and swing the sticks. Chad from Copper Rock, good to see you, buddy. You're going to be busy out there the next couple of months, but I know you and the crew are ready to go.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me out, and thanks for the opportunity to come on live today.
Yep. So the Women's Developmental Series, the Utah PGA Junior Series, you got the Epson Tour event, which will be out there the 14th, 15th, and 16th. Get your tickets for that, and then those summer clinics in June and July. Got to take a break. Back in a flash. We're going to wrap the show up today, talking about the spring football game tomorrow night at Utah Tech University. Coach Lance Anderson is going to hop on with us when we come back. It's The Drive out of the Finley Hyundai Studios. Hey, sports fans, welcome back. It is The Drive. Devin, Dixon, Paul Ratliff on a Feel Good Friday. A football Friday, Paulie.
Yes.
A football Friday, because now joining us here on the program, head coach of the Utah Tech Trailblazer football team, Coach Lance Anderson. Coach, good morning. How are we feeling on a football Friday?
Good morning. I'm doing great today.
I love it. I love it. It's always a football Friday at the Anderson household, right? I mean, there's no day that ends in Y that's not a football Friday. Spring.
You can say that every day of the week. I mean, it is a football day. I mean, 24/7, 365 days a year. I mean, it's all about football for sure.
Spring game is tomorrow night. We'll get to that, but kind of bring our listeners up to speed. Your thoughts, maybe highlights from this year's spring ball that's been different than in years past that you're really excited about. How's things been going down there, Coach?
Again, the thing that I'm probably most excited about is, again, going into year 3, that there's getting to be, more consistency, where, again, basically the schemes on both sides of the ball, offense, defense, they've stayed the same. So I think guys are really starting to understand those schemes. So, we should see an improvement in terms of our execution. I think we saw improvement last year, like in our physicality, just our toughness, things like that. And I think we are continuing to do that. We've practiced hard this spring. I think we're a stronger football team. We're becoming a more physical football team. We're certainly not exactly where we need to be yet, but those are the things that I'm most excited about, is that, hey, we are, just in terms of our execution and our physicality, we are improving. We are becoming a better football team in those areas. And those are things those are things you have to be able to do to win football games.
And, Coach, I wanted to ask you, obviously really early in spring ball right now, but wanted to ask you about the depth of your quarterback room. Obviously, you've got redshirt sophomore Bronson Barbin returning. You've got Deacon Hill healthy. And a video I checked out from spring ball that Rod Zundel and Utah Tech football produced, C.J. Tiller looks to be a player, your redshirt sophomore transfer from Utah State. Talk about your quarterback room, Coach, and how good it is this year.
I mean, right now that room's in a really good place because, like you said, we've got 3 very talented guys. All 3 guys are healthy. All 3 guys have been practicing at a high level. I think just the experience that Bronson Barbin got last year, even though there were certainly ups and downs, have really helped him. And again, he's still just a young football player. I mean, he was a redshirt freshman last year, will be a redshirt sophomore this year. And I think he's shown a lot of improvement this spring. Deacon Hill is a veteran. I mean, started a lot of games at Iowa his last year there. And I mean, they were a very good football team. He missed all of last year with injury. He's been healthy throughout the spring, and I think he's played well. And I think C.J. Tiller, who's a transfer from Utah State, was at Boise State previous to that, is a kid that has a lot of ability, a lot of talent, and he's played very well this spring as well.
Coach Anderson with us here on the show. Coach, the portal giveth and taketh away. What was that like with that one window compared to years past? I mean, being at a smaller NCAA school with not a war chest of NIL money, how are you navigating through that, and how do you feel about some of the newcomers on your team that you've added?
I feel good about those guys. You're exactly right, Devin. I mean, I just think the reality of it, where we don't have NIL money right now. I mean, we're just guys that play well. We're going to end up losing some of those guys, and we've done that the last couple years, and some guys have moved on to some really good places with really good opportunities. But I think we've been able to add some good guys who have that are going to help us as well. Speaking of some of the guys on defense, Aiden McCumber, who comes to us from Hawaii, Leka Tuakoi, who comes to us from Idaho State, Abe Jager, who comes to us from Utah State. We've got a number of guys there who I think are going to help us. We've had some junior college transfers who are playing really well. Gavin Gleason on the offensive line has been really solid. So, we lost some guys through the portal and as transfers, but I think we've added some guys that are really going to help us. And, we've still, got our eye on a few other guys that are still out there, some JC guys who are finishing up this semester that I think we could add that will help us. You mentioned only the one portal window, too, and I'm hoping that will help just with our continuity and consistency as well, where now at least at the end of spring, we're not looking at another, portal window opening up. So I hope we don't have too many losses here at the end of spring, and that we can really go into the summer and then the fall really building on what we've been able to do this spring.
Coach, one of the best units for you all season long, and continuity was a big part of it, was your offensive line, allowing a minimal amount of sacks throughout the season. Obviously, don't get to see a lot of what they do on these clips in spring ball. We'll see a little bit in the spring game, but how have they been looking early in camp?
Yeah, they're doing well. Again, it's still a unit where we need to develop more depth, and we're working to do that. But I mean, just last year with a couple guys like Matthew Snarr and Cade Draper that played as true freshmen, and boy, they don't seem anything like freshmen right now. Even though this really is the spring of their freshman year, but I think all that experience they got last year really helps. And they've really developed into leadership roles, and they've been playing at a high level. And like I mentioned before, adding a guy like a Gavin Gleason to that room has really helped. So I think that group's really coming together, and again, just looking to build more depth there. But that we're trying to do that at a lot of positions.
Coach Lance Anderson hanging out with us here. Spring football game tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, open to the public. Autograph session after the spring game, so the kids can go down on the field and meet the players and grab some signatures. You can even get Coach's autograph, too. I'm sure after the game, he's got a nice-looking John Hancock, right, Coach?
Well, I'm not so sure about that, but hey, yes, we would certainly be willing to do that. But yeah, we're going to have, I think, some of our guys who are a little banged up or not participating, I think they're going to be signing some autographs there at the beginning around, that 6 o'clock when we get rolling with a little bit of a walkthrough there at the beginning. We'll have stuff later on. So I know there's a lot of stuff going on. So it should be a great event tomorrow night.
Coach, I don't know if you're up to the latest on your schedule release, but it looks like your guys are not the most artistic group as they try to draw every logo of all the schools you'll be playing this year. Were you able to see that social media video?
I have not seen that yet, but I will definitely go check that out.
They're football players, maybe business majors. They're not art majors.
They're not artists,
yes.
I understand.
Come on, Paulie. Come on. I can't draw a lick either, so
that's right.
I would have done worse.
I can't either. You definitely don't want to ask me to do that.
Lance Anderson hanging out with us. Coach, how many guys are you being precautionary with that won't go, and how many returning starters will compete in the spring scrimmage tomorrow night?
We're going to have everybody who's healthy is going to practice. They're going to get some scrimmage work in on Saturday, and that's kind of been the case throughout the spring. But we do have a few guys banged up that won't be available on Saturday. But we've got the majority of the roster who will be ready to go. And yeah, we're not really holding anyone out for precautionary reasons. As hey, if there's a legit injury and the guy can't go, but everybody else will get a good chance to scrimmage on Saturday. And one of the things we believe in is, boy, you get better at football by playing football, and your best ability is your availability. And we're really looking forward to seeing our guys go out and compete and get some good scrimmage work in a lot of good different situations on Saturday night.
And you do have a good contingent of local players that prepped in Region 9. I can cruise through the roster and at least find 8 or 9 local players, whether that's, guys like Barbin that we know about, or if it's, Jay Sweeten, who we've seen. But you've got some newcomers. Archie Therafall is going to be suiting up for you guys. Coach, right? Another local kid out of Snow Canyon. I know Archie had that bad ACL his senior season in the first play, the first game, but he's recovered and ready to go, I'm hoping.
He really has. He has not really. He's not missed anything this spring, and he's still wearing that knee brace as that knee continues to heal. But he's been playing at a high level. Archie's a physical kid, really solid tackler, and he's shown that this spring. We're excited to have Archie here.
Yeah, and you got Jackson Griffiths, and you got Kona Crowell, and you've got Jaquil Mitchell, and then you got a couple linemen, Jacob Zarate. I know he's a guy that was shut down last season. Is he a go in spring, or are you going to have to wait till fall to get Zarate back full strength?
It looks like we're going to have to wait till fall to get him back, but just seeing Jacob in just some of the workouts and things like that, he's really looking good. Boy, he looks like you want an offensive lineman to look. He's got a lot of ability. So we're really looking forward to getting him healthy over the summer so that, hey, we are full go in the spring with him. Devin, you mentioned Jaquil Mitchell. I mean, he's a guy where he has really stepped up this spring. He did some good things for us last year, but I would expect, even more from him this fall, just based on how he's been playing this spring. He's had a really good, spring practice for us.
A lot of work to be done in the spring, Coach. And obviously wanted to go into your weight room sessions. Who are some of your workout warriors, some guys that put up some big weight and are just really in tune with working out and giving their best in there?
One of the guys is, Moy Posse, who, joined us last year as a walk-on at running back. And, then we ended up moving him to linebacker and ended up starting games at linebacker for us. And he's had a really good, solid spring as well. And he's a guy that really gets after it and works hard in the weight room. And I think a lot of what he's done, as a walk-on and what he's done in the weight room has really put him in that position where he's played a lot of football for us last year, and he will continue to do that. Another kid is, Marley Sagapolu, who's another St. George kid. I mean, he coming back last year, he missed the year before, really helped us on the defensive line, and Marley's had a tremendous spring. I think he's really going to be a playmaker on the D-line, and he's a guy that just pushes himself in the weight room. I mean, he is a strong, physical kid. He's just a great example to the young guys. I mean, all the linemen, whether it's defensive linemen, offensive linemen. I mean, he really shows those guys how to work and get after it in the weight room, and he's done a tremendous job.
Coach Lance Anderson hanging out with us. One change will be your defensive coordinator, Coach Montague. He takes off. So Coach Clark, now your DC. What is that going to be like tomorrow during the scrimmage? What do you want to see out of your defense with a new DC?
The big thing we're looking for on defense is just continue to build on some of the things we did last year. We made definite strides in our run defense, just in terms of our physicality, our ability to get off blocks, our ability to tackle. That's why we want to continue to make those strides defensively, just with a lot of those fundamental things. And Coach Ray Clark has done a great job with that. We worked together at Stanford. He was here in 2024, and then he went to Arizona State last season, and now we're glad to have him back. So I mean, he's very familiar with the system, so not a lot of changes. But he's also brought a few things from Arizona State that they did there that were successful for them, and I think that's been a great addition to our defensive package.
Coach, have some fun tomorrow night, and really appreciate you hopping on with us and talking about Utah Tech football. And I know we'll have to talk again throughout the summer a little bit more about the schedule. I mean, Montana State, BYU right out of the gate. So got to get ready, and these spring practices and scrimmages are very important.
They certainly are. Yeah, we've got a great schedule next year. It's a tough schedule. But I'm excited about, just our improvement. And we know it's not just all going to happen overnight, but the guys are really, really working hard. They're really bought in. And, I mean, we are definitely seeing improvement. And I'm excited about the summer. I'm excited about the upcoming season.
Coach, thanks for stopping by. And fans, 6 o'clock tomorrow night, open and free to the public. See you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, you guys.
All right, Coach Lance Anderson here on the show with us. Again, free admission, 6 o'clock, Greater Zion Stadium. Autographs before and after.
Awesome event.
Absolutely. Today's show brought to you by Soda Weight Loss. And, you can go read over 9,000 reviews on how Soda Weight Loss is changed their name to Soda Diet Nutrition, and how this isn't pills, this isn't injections. This is something I'm actually doing. I'm actually doing the program. I got my nutritionist. I got my weekly calls. I'm getting new menu items and adding things in. It's custom to what my goals are and losing weight. Paulie did it for 3 months. Now I'm doing it and cannot recommend them highly enough. I mean, you're not guessing. You're not calorie counting. No shots, no pills. You go to the store. It's not a generic meal plan. They build real food around your body and your goals. So go to sodadietandnutrition.com. That's sodadietandnutrition.com. Do what I'm doing. Let go of a few pounds, or you can call 866-800-SOTA. That's 866-800-SODA. Paulie, Mammoth Knights. Who you got in the series?
Ooh, That's a loaded question with only 50 seconds.
I know.
I'm going to go Mammoth.
Wow.
Plus 155 series price. Give them to me.
Knights are going to win. For Paul, Devin, hope you had a great week. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you on Monday, everybody.